I work nights at Riverside Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. I'm a patient transporter. Nothing glamorous, but it's honest work. I will people around before surgeries, take them to radiology, sometimes just sit with someone who's scared out of their mind. It wears on you after a while, especially the overnights. But I always figure if I did my job, came home, paid the bills, and loved my wife right, that'd be enough. Her name's Jessica, 31. We've been married 5 years, together a little longer. She works at a dental clinic on the east side, doing cleanings and running the front when they're short-staffed. She always took pride in her smile, said her teeth were her superpower. That's what I fell for, honestly. That smile and the way she talked to people. Jess had a way of making strangers feel like old friends. We weren't rich or flashy, but we had a decent life. Townhouse in Gahanna, a golden retriever named Bo, Sunday morning pancakes, movie nights on the couch. That kind of thing. I worked long hours, but it was for us. For the life we were building. And for a while, I really thought we were good. Then she started talking about kids. Out of the blue, almost. Like, one night we're brushing our teeth, and she says, "You ever think about what our kid would look like?" Didn't even look up from the mirror. Just dropped it like a casual thought. But after that, it became a theme. She'd point out babies in Target, ask what names I liked, follow all those TikTok moms who post those day-in-a-life routines. At first, it felt sweet. Then it started to feel pressured. She downloaded an ovulation app. Started scheduling when we'd sleep together. There were vitamins, meal changes, even a little notebook where she tracked everything, like a baby war plan. It was a lot, but I was on board. I wanted it too. I just didn't show it the same way. Now here's where things started to twist. One morning, early May, maybe the 6th, I come home from a brutal shift. 3 codes overnight. One guy didn't make it. I'm wrecked. And she's sitting on the edge of the bed, holding a pregnancy test like it's a golden ticket. "I'm pregnant," she says, voice shaking. It worked. I blinked, dead tired, trying to process. Then it hit me, and I smiled. I hugged her, said all the right things. "We did it. I'm so happy. You're going to be a great mom." And for a minute, I believed it. She cried into my shoulder, said it felt surreal. I chalked it up to hormones. But it never went away. That weirdness. She wasn't acting like a woman thrilled to be having her first child. More like someone trying to convince herself it was all okay. Fast forward 2 weeks. She tells me I don't need to come to her OB appointment. Says it'll just be a quick check-in. I offer anyway. She insists. So I let it go. That night, she's quiet. Says she's tired. Heads to bed early. I stay up, eat leftover pasta, and something inside me itches. Can't explain it. Just felt wrong. The next morning, while she's in the shower, I check the MyChart app. We use the same healthcare system, so we're synced on Family Access. Not spying, just curious. Maybe I wanted to see what the doctor said. One note jumps out. Estimated date of conception, July 18th. I swear, I read that line 10 times. July 18th? That's when I was in Cincinnati for a hospital transport training. For days, gone the whole time. I even kept the hotel receipts. We were short-staffed, and I had to prove expenses. She texted me that week, remember? Said Bo missed me. Sent a pic of the dog with his head on her lap. So tell me, how the hell did we conceive a baby while I was 3 hours away, sleeping in a La Quinta? I didn't say anything right away. My hands were sweating. My stomach felt like it was full of ice. But I didn't scream, I didn't accuse, I just watched. Watched her habits. Watched the way she kept texting during dinner. How she locked her phone now when she used to leave it face up on the couch. Watched how she smiled when a text came in, then pretended it was just a group chat. Watched how she kept saying, "This baby will make us stronger," like she was trying to manifest something. I couldn't take it. I waited till she fell asleep that night, then cracked open her laptop. She used the same passwords for everything, birthdays and dog names. Pathetic, really. There it was. A message thread in Facebook Messenger with someone named Trevor L. Just one line, not deleted yet. We should have been more careful. He's gonna figure it out. That's all I needed. I sat in the kitchen for hours, just staring at the screen. I remember the clock ticking, the fridge humming, Bo's paws shifting on the floor. The whole world got quiet. That kind of quiet where everything inside you screams. She cheated, got pregnant, and decided she'd stick me with the consequences because I'm the safe one. Because I work a steady job and wouldn't run. Because I clean up someone else's mess. Well, I'm not that guy. The next morning, I went to her OB's clinic. Told them I had questions about paternity laws in Ohio. Asked what happens if I'm not the biological father. The nurse looked at me carefully and said, "Don't sign anything at the hospital. You'll need a legal denial and DNA test. But you can walk away. It's possible." That's when I made the decision. Not to fight. Not to yell. Not even to cry. Just to leave. She didn't see it coming. And that's the part that still gives me a weird kind of peace. Because sometimes the loudest revenge is silence. And that was just the beginning. I didn't leave right away. You'd think after finding out your wife's pregnant with another guy's kid, you'd storm out, slam the door, maybe throw something dramatic in the trash on your way out. But that's not how it goes when you've built years with someone. You freeze. You walk around the house like a ghost, brushing your teeth next to her, cooking eggs like nothing's wrong, just trying to breathe. For the next 2 days, I was running on autopilot. Go to work. Pretend I cared when patients asked how I was. Come home. Smile when Jess asked if I wanted pasta or rice. I couldn't even look her in the eyes. Not because I was scared, but because I knew once I did, I wouldn't be able to keep it together. The last straw didn't come through a fight. It came from her mouth like it was the most normal thing in the world. It was a Sunday morning. She made waffles. Extra crispy. The way I like them, like that'd soften me up. We're sitting at the kitchen table. Sun coming through the blinds. She's scrolling on her phone while I pick at my plate. Then out of nowhere she goes, "I know things are weird, but we can still raise the baby together. You'll take care of it. You're my husband." I didn't respond right away. I just stared at her. Like, did she really just say that? You'll take care of it. Like I'm a trash service for her mistakes. She didn't apologize. Didn't ask how I felt. Didn't admit anything. Just dropped that line like it was part of some script she'd rehearsed. That was her plan. Get pregnant by another man, lie about it, then dump the responsibility on me because I wear scrubs and clocking like a decent guy. I put my fork down. You think I'm going to raise another man's baby? I asked calm as hell. She blinked, looked up from her phone, like I'd just misunderstood. Her voice was small. It's not about DNA. It's about love. Love? She didn't love me when she was hooking up with Trevor or whoever he was. She didn't love me when she was hiding doctor appointments. She didn't love me when she saw that positive test and decided to make me the backup plan. Now she wanted to weaponize love because it was convenient. You made a choice, I told her. Now I'm making mine. I stood up, walked straight into the bedroom, and grabbed my duffel bag. She followed me, asking what I was doing. You're not thinking clearly. No, I cut her off. I've never thought clearer in my life. She started crying. Of course she did. That wasn't new. Jess could cry like a faucet when it suited her. But these weren't tears of regret. These were panic tears. She wasn't sorry she lied. She was sorry her plan didn't work. Please don't leave me, she begged. We can get through this. Get through what? A relationship where she cheats, lies, and dumps a baby on me? That's not a marriage. That's a hostage situation. I zipped the bag and looked her dead in the face. I'm not raising that child. And I'm not staying in a house where I'm treated like a safety net. Then I walked out, went straight to my buddy Jason's apartment in Westerville. He's a radiology tech I've known since orientation week. Good guy, married with kids. When I told him what happened, he didn't even blink. Just handed me a beer, offered his guest room, and said, "Say the word if you need a lawyer." Next morning, I called one. Her name's Amanda, family law attorney in Worthington. Young, sharp, straight to the point. I told her everything. The timeline, the MyChart records, the text I saw, what Jess said. She listened carefully and said, "Okay, you've got options. Ohio law is clear. If a woman's married, the husband is presumed to be the legal father of any child born during the marriage, unless he files a denial of paternity within a specific window and gets DNA proof." Amanda said I had to act fast. Baby wasn't born yet, but once it was, if I signed anything, even accidentally, I could be stuck for 18 years. I'm not trying to be cold, I told her. I just refuse to be conned. She nodded. Smart. A lot of men get trapped out of guilt. You're not obligated to raise a child that isn't yours. Period. We started the paperwork that afternoon. Meanwhile, Jessica started blowing up my phone. Texts, voicemails, emails. 1 minute begging, the next minute raging. One message said, "You're a monster for walking out on your family." The next said, "Please just come home. I need you." I didn't answer a single one. I blocked her on everything except email. Amanda said to keep at least one line open for legal reasons. Every time I saw her name pop up in my inbox, I felt this dull ache in my chest. Not pain, just disappointment. Like finding out the person you loved most was a stranger wearing a mask for years. I found out later from mutual friends that she told people I was having a mental breakdown, that I left because I couldn't handle fatherhood. She even told her mom I was emotionally abusive, all to protect her image. That was Jess. If she couldn't control the narrative, she'd burn the whole story down. But the funny part? The people who really knew me, they didn't buy it. My coworkers, my friends, even her own cousin texted me saying, "Whatever happened, I know you're not the bad guy." I kept my head down, kept working my shifts, showing up, saving money. I stayed at Jason's for a couple weeks, then rented a small place near German Village. Old brick duplex, quiet neighborhood. Bo came with me. He never liked being alone with her anyway. I didn't date, didn't drink, just focused on rebuilding. People think revenge has to be loud, like slashing tires or exposing someone on Facebook. But the best kind? It's cold, silent, and permanent. The kind where you leave them to sit in the mess they made, with no rescue, no closure, no lifeline. Jessica thought I'd always be there, thought I'd forgive, forget, and throw on a superhero cape. She miscalculated. Now she's alone, pregnant, and drowning in consequences. And me? I sleep better than I have in years. Some people think that once you walk away, the story ends there. But it doesn't. The real stuff, the uncomfortable, awkward, sometimes satisfying truth, comes after. After I left Jessica, things got quiet. Not peaceful quiet, more like that heavy silence after a storm where everything feels weird, empty. But at the same time, I felt like I could finally breathe. I was living in a one-bedroom place in German Village, just me and Bo, my dog. No drama, no fake smiles, no one crying over pancakes. I was working doubles at the hospital to stay busy. Nights were still rough, but at least now I didn't have to come home pretending things were okay. I could just exist. I didn't check on her, didn't ask mutual friends. I cut off everyone who tried to play middleman. I didn't want updates, didn't care what she was posting. I was done. But life has a way of circling back, especially when people start facing what they caused. The first real news I got about her came through a coworker of hers, someone I met a few times at cookouts. She bumped into me in the Kroger parking lot, right next to the shopping carts. "She's not doing too well," she said. I didn't ask for details, just nodded. But later that night, curiosity got me. I opened up a fake account I'd made during the whole mess and searched her name. Her profile was private, but her mom's wasn't. First post I saw was a baby shower. Blue and white decorations, those giant alphabet blocks spelling baby, and Jessica standing alone in front of the cake, barely smiling. No man beside her. No Trevor. A few scrolls down, her mom wrote, "Single moms are warriors. Proud of my daughter." So that was it. He bailed. I won't lie to you. I felt nothing. Not joy, not pity, just confirmation. Like watching a bad movie finally end the way you expected. A few weeks after that, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I don't answer random calls, but this time I picked up. It was her mom. She didn't even say hi. Just started with, "Logan, I know things went sideways, but Jessica's going through a lot. She's stressed. The baby's almost here. She doesn't have support." I cut her off. I'm not the father. That's been legally settled. I moved on. There was a pause. Then she said something that stuck with me. "You used to be family." I laughed a little. She should have thought about that before she lied to mine. And I hung up. I knew what this was. Not about family. Not about love. It was about money, stability, a man who shows up. Jessica thought I'd stay out of guilt, but I left clean. I filed the paperwork. Got my DNA test lined up before the kid was even born. Amanda, my lawyer, told me I was covered. No birth certificate. No claim. No problem. She was on her own now, just like she chose. Time passed. The baby was born. I found out because she emailed me a blurry photo with no subject line. Just a newborn in a blanket and a single sentence. He looks a lot like you. No, he didn't. That kid had light hair, different eyes, looked nothing like me. But she wanted to plant doubt. Play the long game. Make me question things. I didn't reply. I never replied. The emails kept coming. Week 2. I need help with diapers. Can we talk? Week 4. I'm sorry for everything. I was scared. Week 6. You were the best man I ever had. I miss us. I stayed silent. That silence drove her crazy. I know it did. You could hear it in her words, shifting from soft, regretful to bitter and desperate. One day, she'd be apologizing. The next, she'd be threatening to tell people I abandoned my family. But it was too late. The truth had weight now, and I wasn't carrying hers anymore. A few months later, I bumped into her by accident. I was at Target grabbing protein powder and laundry detergent, and there she was in the baby aisle, pushing a cart with her kid in the seat, hair tied up, dark circles under her eyes, wearing an oversized hoodie that didn't look like hers. She saw me before I saw her. I turned down the next aisle, not out of fear, just to avoid the conversation. But she followed. "Logan," she said, quiet, almost embarrassed. I stopped, looked at her and nodded. "You're not going to say anything?" she asked. I shrugged. What's left to say? She looked like she wanted to cry, but was too tired to. Her voice cracked a little. "I messed up. I know that. But you were my husband. I thought maybe you'd still." I shook my head. "You thought wrong." And I walked away. That was the last time I saw her in person. Now, she's still around, I guess. Social media shows she's back living with her mom in Reynoldsburg, working fewer hours at the dental clinic. No relationship status listed. Just posts about doing it all alone, and those fake deep quotes like, "Sometimes the strongest women are the ones who had no choice." It's almost funny how someone can ruin everything, then try to play the hero in their own mess. Me? I'm doing better than I thought I would. Routines help. I still work hospital shifts, but I picked up some per diem hours at a nearby urgent care for extra income. I started running again. Nothing crazy, just a few laps at the park near my apartment. I even signed up for a cooking class at the rec center. Met a woman named Erin there. She's kind. Doesn't play games. Listens more than she talks. We've been grabbing coffee now and then, no pressure. I'm not rushing anything. But for once, I'm choosing peace. Jessica never understood that love isn't just about romance or raising a child. It's about respect, truth, loyalty, the boring but powerful stuff that makes a house feel like home. She wanted the benefits of a good man without doing the work to deserve one. Now she's alone, broke, tired, and still hoping I'll come back like some kind of backup plan. But I'm not a plan B, and she's just a closed chapter. I didn't get revenge with anger or noise. I got it with distance. And now, I don't lose sleep anymore.